Shucky ducky, quack, quack, we're back with some NXT. It's time for your NXT review for the 22nd of November 2022, and we kick off the show. Looking back at last week's title Tuesday, we see how Mandy Rose and Braun Breaker retained their titles over Von Wagner and Alba Fire. We then go to the ring, Toxic Attraction come out, Mandy Rose. Oh my god, how fucking hot is Mandy Rose, by the way, seriously? I mean, it should almost be illegal, and I think this is definitely Mandy Rose's best look. She's been full blonde, she's been brunette, but now she's kind of going with like a kind of like dirty blonde / brunette, and I don't know, but this is her best look by far, in my opinion. She is hot as fuck. Tonight she was wearing these like red skinny pants, man, and leather skinny pants. I don't know what they were. Fuck, I mean, I wanted her to take them off, but they look good, whatever they were. They look great. They're cutting a promo saying that they've seen the end of Alba Fire. And by the way, during this, Booker T was completely marking out. He's like, what is the big says? Talk about having a sweet tooth. Mandy is the only candy you need. Shucky ducky, quack quack. I mean, Mandy is the only candy you need. Oh man, love Booker T. What a guy. What a fucking legend. Speaking of legend, these two ain't legends. Cade and Carter came out in Katana Chance. They come out and cut a promo, basically burying Toxic Attraction. They say that Gigi Dolan and JC Jane are only in Toxic Attraction to keep the belt on Mandy, because once Mandy loses, Mandy's no good to them, and it just didn't make a lot of sense to me. But this Cade and Carter's definitely better on the mic than Katana Chance. Plus, she's hotter than Katana Chance, so this just me. What chance has Katana Chance got? No chance, pun intended. But yeah, basically they set up a little brawl. The champs get in the ring and they get beat up by Toxic Attraction. So there you go. I mean, it was an okay start to the show. We then see Wes Lee arriving to the arena. Tony D'Angelo is... I don't get it. Tony D'Angelo's in a car, but it looks like he's driving away for the arena. So what was he there for? If we don't get to see Tony D, if Stack's ain't doing anything, then why the fuck were they even there to begin with? Tony D says that Wes Lee better watch out and that he's not finished with him, and Wes Lee goes to tell him that he didn't mean to injure him, but then just forgets it and walks in. So yeah, I don't get it. I mean, why is Tony D complaining about an injury that Wes Lee gave him? Fucking Tony D legit orders people to get killed, throws 2 times off the fucking bridge into the river, just murdered 2 times on the Manhattan Bridge. But he's annoyed that he got a little injury in his match with Wes Lee. I do think that's a bit pathetic. Then we move on to the first match tonight. Cora Jade versus the Choo Choo Train. Wendy Choo. You know what? People say I think Wendy Choo's attractive. I do. Not as attractive as Cora Jade, but I do think Wendy Choo's attractive. Check out her Instagram. She's a thick little Asian, I tell you that, man. Wendy Choo is alright looking, but I mean, she's, like I said, she doesn't compare to Cora Jade, but let's give these women some respect. Let's not just talk about their assets. Let's talk about their wrestling ability. And well, there really wasn't a lot of wrestling ability shown in this one. In the end, Cora Jade throws the orange juice of Wendy Choo's into her face and hits her with the DDT, gets the win. After the match, Wendy Choo is like crying her eyes out. I'm not too sure why, or like fake eyelashes. I don't know if it was her fake eyelash or whether it was Cora Jade's, but there was like a fake eyelash, and it was like literally running down her cheek with the orange juice. But she was crying like really, really badly here, so I'm not sure if this was whole part of the show or whether there was something wrong with Wendy Choo. But regardless, I mean, it was okay. Cora Jade cheated to get the win. It did what it did, really. You didn't need a 15-minute match here. Thankfully, we didn't get it. Then we see Apollo Crews. He's entering a diner. He talks about how he's been in title matches. He talks about how he's been Intercontinental Champ, US Champ, left WrestleMania with the belt. But this one means the most to him. And the weight of the champion is keeping him up at night and all this stuff. So, again, it was one of those weird Apollo Crews vignettes that we got when he first came back to NXT. I mean, I digged it. It wasn't great, but it's something different, you know. When you take me away from the wrestling ring, or you take me away from a backstage location, when we try something new, it automatically gets me interested. So yeah, even Even just Apollo Crews going into a diner. I mean, he could have literally walked into the diner, ordered a fucking hamburger, and I would have went, well, you know what? That's pretty cool. But, yeah, I mean, there you go. That was what we got for Apollo Crews. Then we go backstage with Mackenzie Mitchell talking to Kiana James. Says she's facing Ivy Nell tonight. Talks about how her attempt to buy Fallon Henley's family bar failed. Then we go to Xavier Bernal turns up with like a list of people he wants to face. He says the list is 1,347 candidates long. And to me, this was just like a really fucking lame rip-off of Jericho's list, but nothing was funny about this at all. I thought it would have been funnier if Mackenzie Mitchell pointed out, well, this guy on the list is dead, you can't face him, but they never went down that direction. They just kind of went down with, the rapper Drake, or this guy's retired, but they never mentioned any names, and they called Axiom was on top of the list, but Axiom's still injured, so I mean, I didn't really like it. Then we see the Chase U students backstage. Pretty Deadly arrive. There's a lot of them this time. There's Duke, there is Fia Hall, and there's about another 4 or 5 people. Pretty Deadly tell Duke that he needs to go to this. They want him to show his true character. Forget playing this Chase U thing, but Duke says that he is showing his true colours, and his true colours are red and black. He bleeds red and black. Pretty Deadly talk about gambling. Duke says he can't gamble because gambling's illegal on campus. Then they end up brawling. Duke's getting beat up by Pretty Deadly here, and Fia Hall's screaming theatrically. I mean, I kind of like Fia Hall, but sometimes I think she does go over the top, but I get that's the whole point. We get Ivy Nell versus Kiana James. You know what? Kiana James is actually pretty hot. Ivy Nell's not. But I mean, I kind of like Kiana James. She always seems to be fucking showing off some cleavage. So, I mean, I guess a thumbs up for me, but the match didn't really do anything for me. Ivy Nell got the win. After the match, Fallon Henley came in and attacked James, and then the brothers grabbed the mic and basically says that those 2 Indian guys haven't earned our respect. So, what the fuck? Who cares? Then Isla Dawn cuts the promo. No one gives a shit about Isla Dawn. Some Scottish chick from NXT UK. Boring. Fucking hell, man. What are we going to do? I mean, with her and Alba Fire, man. Both fucking chicks look horrendous. Both are non-attractive. I've no interest in watching either of them, but it looks like we're going to get a feud between them. So, yeah, not looking forward to that. Then we get Scripps making his debut versus Guru Raj. Who the fuck's Guru Raj? I don't know, but Scripps wins. He had a cool wee entrance where he hopped over the top rope, then he did a 450 for the win. Scripps gets the win. Debuted pretty quickly after all. What was his point though? You know, the whole I'm a hacker and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then he just has a normal wrestling match. Didn't make a lot of sense to me. Then we come back for the break. The Schism are in the ring. They talk about Thanksgiving. They say that the Thanksgiving message has been lost and it's all about buying fancy presents now and people expecting things, people having expectations for gifts, and it's lost the true meaning of being thankful. Then they basically invite some guy in from the crowd, put him through a table, and they say that he was the sacrifice. The crowd were chanting sacrifice, so they were into it. That didn't really do much for me. Then we get Zoe Stark versus Sol Ruka. Surprised this Sol Ruka person still on the roster. I've seen him a few times now. Haven't impressed me either time, anytime. I guess maybe they're just going to be kept as like a jobber to someone to lose, and I think they won their debut match, but they've lost every match since. She lost to Zoe Stark here. Zoe Stark then tried to beat her up after the match. Sol Ruka should have been the one trying to beat up Zoe Stark after the match. Maybe she could have, beat her good looking, but I doubt that because it would take a lot of fucking fists to the face. Then Big Fat Ass comes out, Nikita Lyons to help out Sol Ruka. They have a brawl, and Zoe Starks leaves. I mean, every time I see Nikita Lyons in an attire, it legit looks like her arse is about to burst out. It, man. Seriously, she should. I'm not actually. I was going to suggest she should change her clothing. She shouldn't, but it's good. I think one day her arse is just going to fly out. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be great, but, it's going to be awkward. They're probably going to have to cut away from the live feed. But, yeah, maybe she should change up her ring gear because whatever she was wearing the night, she was wearing, like, this dress, and it just did not look like it was going to hold. Then we get the NXT tag team. So, yeah, backstage we have Andrew Chase talking to some uni guy. Duke walks in. Andrew Chase is pissed that Duke's walked in and interrupted him. Duke's out of breath. He's like, I had to run all the way here. Andrew Chase is like, what's wrong? He talks about how he got in a fight with Pretty Deadly. Andrew Chase like, oh, you didn't get fined or suspended. He's like, no, I didn't get. I got us a tag team title shot. Andrew Chase is celebrating. Then he turns around to the guy he was speaking to. He's like, what the fuck you still doing? Get the fuck out of here. And I mean, these wee segments are funny. I dig Andrew Chase. I like Andrew Chase. I like Chase U University. But the tag team match, Duke and Andrew just didn't really seem to get on the same page. Duke ends up hitting a big boot on Andrew Chase by accident. Pretty Deadly get the win and Pretty Deadly retain. I mean, that's probably the right decision. I don't think it would have made much sense to put the belts on Chase University at this time. But you know what? I like the Duke Hudson stuff. So I'm hoping that it doesn't disappear anytime soon. Duke apologised to Chase U. To Andrew Chase. Chase looked a little angry as he walked behind Duke and Hale. I do have a feeling though that they are going to have Duke turn on Chase relatively soon within the next couple of weeks. But based on tonight, I mean, Andrew looked pretty pissed. Maybe he could be the one to turn. Maybe he could kick Duke out, or maybe, I don't know what could happen. Maybe Chase U, the university itself, could turn heel. Who knows? But yeah, Andrew Chase did look a wee bit pissed off tonight. Then we cut from the back. We get TikTok footage that Indy Hartwell and Roxanne Perez are going to face each other next week. So, I mean, Indy Hartwell, I don't get it at the moment. Her gimmick is she's got a fucking problem with everyone. That's the storyline. She's just a big fucking lanky Aussie that hates life. I don't get it. We find out that Shawn Michaels is going to announce the Deadline Gauntlet. That new match, they're debuting at Deadline. We find out next week that Michaels is going to announce the participants, 5 men and 5 women. I mean, seriously, why not have qualifying matches? Like, I don't get it. I mean, Cora Jade was taking on Wendy Chu tonight. Why not make that a qualifying match? And then maybe that gives Wendy Chu something to cry about when she doesn't qualify. I just don't see the point of Shawn Michaels coming out and announcing people, just announcing 5 random people for each match. Why not have fucking qualifiers? To me, that would be more interesting. That would have made more sense. And it would have made tonight's matches more important. But no, they don't do that. Apparently next week, Shawn Michaels is just going to name 10 random people and they're going to get into the matchup. I don't like that. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but here, Shawn Michaels is in charge. I'm not. Then we get the main event, NXT North American title match, Carmelo Hayes versus Wes Lee. And remember when Carmelo Hayes' tag team partner kind of got screwed because he had the crazy ex-wife, and then Wes Lee was like on his own, and people thought his career got fucked. When you look at it now, I mean, it's probably the best thing that happened to him because he's had this singles run now. Now he's like the NXT North American champion, and who knows where his career's going to go from here. But I remember at the time, people thought, oh, that's him done. He's a tag team wrestler. Now he has to go on his own, and it's not going to work out for him. You know, he's not going to have any success. But he's turned that around, you know, and now he's became a pretty successful singles wrestler. So, I mean, fair play to Carmelo Hayes. I mean, fair play to Wes Lee. He beats Carmelo Hayes tonight. Decent match. Decent main event. After the match, why do I keep saying Carmelo Hayes? Wes Lee's celebrating, and then some fucking guy comes out. Apparently it's Dynamo Divac or whatever. The guy was in Retribution, and he's got a cool look. He's like got a trench coat on with sunglasses or something. It was a badass look. But then he goes for like he went for like some sort of a version of a GTS, like a modified GTS, but it looked like he completely missed it. It looked like he botched it because there was like no impact when he hit the move, and it was a bit fucking awkward. Wes Lee goes down, and this guy's standing here looking pissed off and angry as NXT goes off the air. I mean, this guy did have a good look. I'm not going to deny that. So we'll see what happens. We'll see where it goes, but I mean, having a good look's one thing. You need a good character. You need personality. You need storylines. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, that's it for NXT. I mean, it was alright. I used to think NXT, a year ago for me, NXT was like the best show on WWE. I thought it was like the best show on a weekly basis, but now it's not as good as it was. It has went downhill. I still prefer it to Raw though, if I'm being completely honest. I'm going to give this week's, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. I didn't think it was that bad, guys. I'm going to give NXT a 3 out of 10. Let me know what you think down below. I am actually kind of looking forward to Deadline to see this new match concept. Plus, you're going to have Braun Breaker versus Paul Cruz. So Deadline looks like it could be a decent pay-per-view. Anyway, guys, that's it. Till next time, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and peace.